The story of the Jefferson nickel in 1971 begins in a period of transition for American coinage and economic policy as the United States was navigating changes involving inflation, metal shortages, and shifting national priorities. The Jefferson nickel itself had been in circulation since 1938 when it replaced the Buffalo nickel, and by 1971 it had become a familiar and trusted part of daily transactions across the country. The design by Felix Schlag, featuring the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, on the obverse and the Monticello building on the reverse had become one of the most recognizable images in American numismatic history. By the early 1970s, the United States Mint was dealing with increased demand for coinage as the population grew and commerce expanded. The nickel was a key denomination because it lasted longer in circulation than pennies and dimes and served as a stable mid-value coin for everyday purchases. In 1971, the Mint produced Jefferson nickels at both the Philadelphia and Denver facilities with the Denver Mint, creating the majority of the coinage. This year is particularly interesting because it falls in a time when the Mint was refining production techniques and improving machinery, leading to changes in strike-quality planchet preparation and mint mark appearance. Collectors today often study Jefferson nickels from 1971 for small variations including die-wear weak strikes and the overall clarity of Monticello's details. These factors reveal the state of minting technology during this time. The year 1971 also exists in the shadow of major national decisions such as the ending of the Bretton Woods system and the move of the United States away from the gold standard under President Richard Nixon. Although these policies did not directly change the composition of the nickel, they influenced the broader economic environment in which the coin circulated. Rising inflation made consumers more aware of the value of money, and coins became even more essential in daily transactions. The Jefferson nickel remained composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, a combination that had been used since the end of World War II after the wartime silver alloy was discontinued. This stability in composition made the nickel one of the most consistent coins of the period, and in 1971 it continued to be minted with the same metallic content. When looking closely at a 1971 Jefferson nickel, one notices the classic portrait of Jefferson facing left. Over decades, this portrait had become almost symbolic of American historical pride, linking modern currency with the legacy of the third president of the United States, who authored the Declaration of Independence and shaped early American democracy. The Monticello, on the reverse, represents architectural beauty and Jefferson's contributions to design and innovation. Throughout the 1970s, coin collectors were becoming more active and more organized. Hobby magazines, coin shows, and local collecting clubs grew rapidly, and many collectors paid close attention to yearly releases of all denominations, including the 1971 nickel. Although it was not a rare issue, it became part of many complete year sets, and decades later it serves as a snapshot of minting conditions from that time. There are also subtle differences in appearance between the Philadelphia and Denver issues. The Denver coins bear the small D mint mark on the right side of the Monticello building. These mint marks were punched by hand during this era, which means slight variations in location size and angle can be found among different coins, making them interesting to specialists today. Another aspect of the 1971 nickel that attracts attention is the quality of the strike. Some examples show strong detail in Jefferson's hair and the pillars of Monticello, while others appear softer and less defined, suggesting worn dies or high production pressure. These differences highlight the Mint's ongoing struggle to balance speed with precision during large-scale production. As one moves deeper into the historical context of 1971, the Jefferson nickel becomes more than a simple piece of metal. It becomes a reflection of the cultural, economic, and technological environment of the era. Americans during this time carried these coins in pockets, and purses used them in payphones, vending machines, and everyday purchases, and relied on them without truly noticing the complex process behind their creation. Behind the scenes, Mint employees were working with evolving equipment, trying to maintain quality standards while meeting national demand. The nickel remained one of the workhorses of the American monetary system, serving millions of transactions daily. Over the span of a detailed 2-hour discussion, one can explore the coin from multiple angles, including its design symbolism, minting process, production, numbers, cultural context, collecting interest, and market value. When discussing the production numbers, it is important to recognize that Denver created a significantly larger quantity than Philadelphia, which is typical for Jefferson Nickels of this era, due to the Denver Mint's role in producing circulating coinage for western and central regions of the nation. The Philadelphia Mint, meanwhile, produced coins without mint marks until 1980, so the 1971 Philadelphia nickel appears plain in comparison. Collectors often compare the two types to study surface texture, strike quality, and wear patterns. Many coins from 1971 circulated heavily for decades, and today, well-worn pieces are common in pocket change. Finding a high-grade uncirculated example, especially with strong steps on Monticello, can be more challenging. The full steps designation refers to a crisp, clear strike, showing the horizontal steps on the front of the building. This detail is a key factor in grading Jefferson nickels and coins, with full steps from 1971 are significantly more desirable to collectors. Over the years, numismatics has placed increasing value on die varieties and minor errors, and the 1971 nickel is no exception. Although it is not widely known for major errors, some examples exist with die cracks, off-centered strikes, or repunched mint marks. These features offer extra historical insight because they show the conditions of die maintenance and mint mark application during the early 1970s. In the broader timeline of American money, the 1971 Jefferson nickel sits between older classic coins and more modern issues of the late 20th century. It maintains the traditional design that lasted until the early 2000s, when the Westward Journey series temporarily replaced the reverse design. Collectors often appreciate the continuity of this coin series, since the Schlag portrait and Monticello reverse remained unchanged for so long, preserving a sense of authenticity and heritage. As one continues exploring the coin in this narrative, the social and economic environment of 1971 becomes even more relevant. This was a year marked by cultural shifts, technological advancements, and geopolitical tensions. The Vietnam War was still ongoing, public opinion was divided, and the United States faced internal challenges about identity and direction. In such a climate, everyday objects like the Jefferson nickel served as stable, quiet reminders of national history. The presence of Jefferson's portrait reminded citizens of leadership, intellect, and democratic ideals, while Monticello symbolized architectural grace and American craftsmanship. These symbols carried subtle emotional weight in a time of uncertainty. The coin thus stands not only as currency, but also as a historical artifact capturing the spirit of an era. Many collectors today see the 1971 nickel as an accessible way to connect with this period. It is affordable, easy to find, and richly tied to historical context. Whether studied for errors, full steps, varieties, or simple nostalgia, it offers a valuable window into the past. The Jefferson nickel of 1971 continues to circulate in some places, though most examples in change today are heavily worn. Higher-grade pieces have found their place in albums, collections, or dealer inventories. Its legacy continues through the dedicated interest of collectors and historians who recognize the quiet significance of this small but meaningful coin. A full discussion allows one to explore every detail from the metal composition and minting technology to the cultural environment, economic changes, and long-term significance. In the end, the Jefferson nickel from 1971 stands as a testament to American coinage stability, municipal craftsmanship, and the enduring legacy of Thomas Jefferson, whose image continues to influence United States currency to this day. This is all we know about Jefferson Nickel 1971.